All right. So a sweet return to the Olympic Games ended with a bitter loss for the Super Falcons of Nigeria against Brazil. I felt like the defeat was made worse by the fact that we looked like we were always in the game, and plus the game looked like it was for the taking, but we just couldn't figure out a way to get things done, and that kind of is frustrating in its own. Now, in less than 24 hours time, we will get the opportunity to go at it again, but this time though, we're going to be facing what most would consider is some stiffer competition. This is the match preview for the Super Falcons' second match of the Olympic Games. We got a bunch to talk about in this video. Going to be talking about the match and details about the match. And of course, we're going to be ending with the starting 11 prediction. Before that though, please make sure to like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much. So yeah, Super Falcons of Nigeria will take on La Roja of Spain in their second match of the Olympic Games. The game will be played tomorrow, Sunday, the 28th of July. 6 p.m. Nigerian time will be the start of the game, and it will be hosted at the Stade de la Bourgeois in Nantes, France. Now, when it comes to the officiating, the game will be refereed by an American, Tori Penzo. She will be officiating the match. She's going to be alongside two other Americans, but she's going to be the center referee. Pretty experienced referee. Actually was the fourth referee to officiate a MLS match in America. Of course, MLS, the men's league, the senior men's league in America. She was the fourth female referee to do that. She was actually the referee at the last Women's World Cup final, the game between Spain and England. She officiated that one, and also in that same World Cup in like I think it was the semi-final of the competition, she also officiated England versus Australia. So she's pretty experienced. Hopefully she comes out there, gives us a fair, clean situation, and may the best team win at the end. Now, to watch the game, for those in Nigeria, you can catch it on Super Sports, and that's on DSTV and GoTV. Outside the country, you can catch it on these channels listed on your screen right here. You got France Television for France, NBC for the United States, Sky NZ for New Zealand, BBC United Kingdom, Super Sports for South Africa, of course, and 9 for Australia. Of course, the other ones right here, Discovery, Eurosports for those across Europe and things like that. Now, when it comes to the Super Falcons opponents and how they line up, of course, La Roja of Spain, recent champions of the world. They won the Australia-New Zealand World Cup, defeating England in the final match of the competition. That final match we talked about. And outside of that, they recently won the UEFA Women's Nations League. They went all the way to the end of that competition, and they won it. At the end, they defeated France in the final match of the competition, 2-0. Now, even though they've been picking up trophies back to back, things have not all been perfect for Spain. You go back to December of last year, they lost by 3-2 to Italy in the UEFA Nations League. Then you go to the World Cup, and that was a big time defeat, 4-0. They lost to Japan in the group stage of the World Cup. Of course, at that time, they had already qualified from their group, won their first two matches very, very easily, and then they played Japan 4-0. They did get their revenge in their last match. They defeated Japan 2-1 in their first match. Now, for the Super Falcons, I'm just going to go back to the last game, the game against Brazil. I felt like, just like I said at the beginning, just a missed opportunity right there. A great opportunity that we had. You could even make an argument that we should have taken all 3 points from Brazil. Not for the way we played to start that second half, because that was atrocious. But when you look at the game as a whole, I felt like we had more meaningful moments than Brazil did. No disrespect to Brazil. They played a good game. They deserved their win. But I just felt like we put in enough to get something out of that game. You go back to the 3-chance sequence. The first one was the Chiwendui Jesus shot or the touch that was point blank saved by the goalkeeper. You get the long range strike from Christy Uchebe that stings the goalkeeper's gloves from outside the box. Then you get the header that was headed over the bar from point blank range by Tosin Demain. If we could have at least gotten one of those goals, who knows? Then you go to the second half. The strike from Rashida Tajibade saved by the goalkeeper. Then you get the rebound falling to Christy Uchebe, and she just completely fluffs it. That was another great opportunity right there. And in a competition like this, we saw what happened at the World Cup. It was basically almost the same story as what happened at the World Cup against England. We had some great opportunities. The strike from Ashley Plumpton that was saved by the goalkeeper. Two wonderful strikes from Ashley Plumpton. At the time, you get the situation. Michelle Aloze gets a chance. She fluffs it. Those were opportunities that could have won us the game then. So we got to be learning from these type of situations. You got to put the ball in the back of the net to move on in these competitions. Yes, there's the chance that you can hold on and maybe score one, nick one at the end and things like that. But if you're not going to take these opportunities when they come, it's going to be real hard for you to do anything in this competition. I think we're more or less really just waiting until the end, seeing if we can steal something when the game is right there in front of you from the beginning. So I feel we have to do a better job of taking our opportunities when it comes to the Super Falcons. They are there. We've been creating chances in all these games. You can even go back to the Ireland game. The one we played after Australia, it was Ireland. We had some good opportunities in that game also. It ended in a draw. The Canada game, not that much, but we did have one or two. And it also, at this stage, we gotta find ways to put the ball in the back of the net. Now, when it comes to the game itself, I feel like this is gonna take a real team effort. It's gonna take everybody playing as one unit, and not just defensively wise. We gotta take it to them also. We can't just sit back and expect that we're gonna soak up all that pressure. We gotta also make up our own pressure and try to get goals also. Because if we're just gonna sit back and wait for them to not score, that's gonna be a long day. They're gonna find a way to get past us and get the ball into the back of the net. So we gotta take part in this party also. We gotta play our part. Now, I said this last game, and I'm gonna keep saying it basically till the competition runs out. We need to move the ball faster. I felt like we were dwelling on the ball a little bit long yesterday. We need to move the ball, and I'm not just saying get the ball and pass it immediately. I'm talking about after you take 5 or 6 touches and there's a player wide open on your side, could you please give it to that player? Because I've seen too many of that happening on attack. We're trying to build something up, and you got one player holding on to the ball instead of just letting it go. Let it go. Give it to your teammate. Trust your teammate, and let's see what's going to happen. Because it's not going to help with you holding on to the ball, especially against a team like Spain that likes to crowd a player, take balls away, go on breaks. It's going to be a really, really long day if you think you're going to play Spain like that. We gotta be smart in possession. We gotta move the ball wisely. We gotta really cherish the ball, because when you lose it, it might be a long time before you get it back. I'm just saying, this is Spain you're playing. It might be a long time before you get it back. So you gotta really cherish the ball. So next up, we got the player prediction, or the starting 11 prediction for the game tomorrow. And we're going to start in goal for the Super Falcons, of course. Chiamaka Nadoze will be the selected player. I don't even think that's a prediction. That's just a promise right there. All things even, she should be in goal for the Super Falcons against La Roja of Spain. She had a good game against Brazil. Of course, none she could have done about that goal. It was just a beautiful strike from the Brazilian, and that was just a screamer right there. Nothing she could do about that. And So, but only thing I had an issue with Chiamaka Nnadozie was the clearances. I mean, clear the ball far. I feel like that was probably one of the worst games she's had clearing the ball. Goal kicks, normal back passes to her that she's supposed to clear out. It just wasn't good enough. She needs to improve definitely in that department. There was one that she just gave away, and luckily for us, it didn't result into a goal against Brazil. But she's definitely going to be in goal for the Super Falcons. Then you move to the central defenders. I don't think there's going to be a change in this department. Osinachi Haile and Tosin Demehin, they both had good performances. I felt like Osinachi Haile was on the higher level. Of course, she's the more experienced out the pair, but I don't see any reason why either one of these central defenders won't be starting. Of course, Tosin Demehin did the slide when Gabby Nunes took the shot that scored against Chiamaka. I really couldn't blame her for that. First of all, the player was kept onside by her teammate. Then when she got there, she tried her best, but she just couldn't get there. And even with that, nobody was expecting that to go past Chiamaka Nnadozie like it did. It was just a wonderful strike against one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Nothing to say about that. Then we move to the fullback. We start at right back, and I believe there will be a change in this department come the game tomorrow. Chidinma Okeke started the game against Brazil. I ain't think she was that bad. A lot of people have been talking about her. I ain't think she was that bad. Yes, she did play the player onside for the goal, but like I said, it was just a ludicrous shot. You're not going to even expect that same player to make that shot 5 times out of 10. So I really can't, that was just an error right there. A lot of players make mistakes like that in games, and the shot goes over the bar, or it's a back pass looking shot. So I really don't blame her like a lot of people are trying to blame her. But I felt like Nicole Payne brought a little something different, especially going forward. I like the ball she put into the box, and I don't think she's going to be at a disadvantage physically when it comes to this game against La Roja. So I'm thinking Randy Waldron will get her at the right back position. Then at the left back position is a player that started the game against Brazil at the right back position. That's Michelle Alozie. She moved over to left back when Nicole came into the game. I think that's what's going to be done at the start of this match. She's going to start at the left back position. She had a great match in my opinion. Did really, really good defensively. Going forward also did good. And I believe the best is yet to come for Michelle Alozie in this competition. So let's just watch and see when it comes to number 2. Then we go to the midfield department. The first two are pretty easy. You got Deborah Biodun of Pittsburgh University, and you got Christy Uchebe of Benfica in the Portuguese top flight. And I feel like this one is real easy. No other natural midfielders are on the team unless the coach is going to play Asisat Oshwala at her first position. Of course, she was a defensive midfielder before she changed into a forward at the Under-20 World Cup. But I feel like these are the two players that will start in the middle. Then comes the third midfielder. We are doing a 4-3-3 formation or something like that. The third midfielder, I think, will be new Everton signing Toni Payne. I think she's going to get the nod in that position one more time. Of course, she started the game against Brazil in that very same position. I don't think she had the worst of games, and you just think about it. If that cross that she put in goes in, the one that goes to Tosin Demehin, if Tosin Demehin has that in the back of the net, we're saying Toni Payne is a great attacking midfielder. We're saying that she is a generational talent and things like that. But just because that opportunity doesn't go in, you lose that assist, you lose that goal, and people are acting like you really did none out there. I felt like she had a good enough game. Not the best, but good enough. I think the coach is not going to go away from his decision to start her at the 10 position. Of course, there is Jennifer Echegini that you can put at that position. Then you can also have Rashida Tajibade play in that position. But I think Tony Payne is going to keep the trust of the coach right here in this game. And moving on, we got the 3 forwards. We're going to start on the left side. And right there, I don't think there's going to be any change made. Jennifer Chegini started the match against Brazil, and Joe will be starting the match against Spain if my prediction is going to come through. But I think she's going to start the game. She had that one move in the second half. She gets past a player, smacks it, but just couldn't keep it down. I was like, when she got taken off, I really wasn't a fan of that. I feel like Jennifer Chegini, you leave her in the game, she's a player that can score. She's a player that can finish. Let's say that opportunity that fell to Christy Uchebe fell to Jennifer Chegini. That's 1-1. That's 1-1. I'm so sure of that. That's 1-1. So I feel like this is a player that can do this stuff. So all that changing, you change other players. I think you maybe put her in the 10 position and just rock out like that. But don't take her out of the game. This is a player that can do special stuff for y'all. But moving on, the right side, Rashida Tajibade. I feel like this is going to be tough for the coach because he's going to be thinking about the midfield. Can she play in that 10 position, which I know she can. But I feel like I'm more comfortable with her playing on the right side. We saw what she did with that opportunity for Chiwendui Hazel, and it was until a little bit of changes were made that she got. I wouldn't have taken her out the flank. I think she would have caused those Brazilians so much trouble, and we just need to get her the ball. We just need to get her the ball on that flank, and I feel she can do stuff. Like, just on that cross, she left the defender just behind like the Rapture, puts the ball across. Of course, it should have been a goal, but that's football for you. A blinding save by the goalkeeper kept it at 0-0. The rest was history at the end. Speaking of the end, the last player on this 11, I think, will be Esther Okoronkwo. She came in to replace Chiwendui Hazel at the beginning of the second half last game. I ain't think she was that impressive. I thought she held on to the ball a little bit too long. I felt she was doing too much. That's just it. I felt she was doing too much. She should have just kept it simple. We need you in the box. We need you arriving when the ball arrives in the box. That's where we need Esther Okoronkwo. We don't need her creating. We don't need her holding on to the ball too much. I mean, you can hold on, bring your players into the game, but not so much that you're losing the ball at almost every sequence. So I feel she could have done better, but still, I think the coach is going to pick her for the game tomorrow. And I feel like she's a player that if she gets an opportunity, she can make something happen. So I have that confidence in her. I'm pretty sure the coach has that confidence in her, why he's going to play her in the game tomorrow against Spain. But that's my predicted starting 11. Of course, one name not mentioned was Asisa Oshuala. Of course, she has the history with Spain, played in Spain for all those years with Barcelona. And I'm just thinking the coach is not going to start her if he didn't at least give her 1 minute in the game against Brazil. So I don't think she's going to go from not playing at all to actually starting the next match. That would have been a big jump right there. Now, if it was up to me, I'm starting Asisa Oshuala, even if she's only going to play 60 minutes, even if she's only going to play 45 minutes. I feel like she has the quality. I feel like she brings a lot to this team, but it's the coach's decision, and we just got to stand by it and hope it works. But let me know your thoughts on the lineup, the predicted starting lineup. And like last time, let me know your predictions for the game. Super Falcons of Nigeria taking on La Roja of Spain. Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comment section. And please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.